Konnichiwa. That is hello in Japanese. So today we're going to talk about what does it mean to integrate your shadow. And the truth may actually surprise you. So we know that our shadow aspect is the things that we feel are unacceptable, the things that we may be um, things we may feel bad about ourselves, or the things that we wish were not a part of our personality or our character traits. It's those things that society would look down on, the things that are socially unacceptable, but happen all the time. The shadow aspects can be like having dark emotions, those heavier emotions. Those are the parts of us that we consider to be the shadow aspects of our being, our humanness. However, they're actually aspects of our spiritual self as well. And we're going to talk about that. So when we think about God, goddess, the divine, whoever you choose as to name as your higher power, we know that all things were created by the divine. All things, not just some, but all things were created by the divine, by that divine consciousness, that divine energy. So when we think about it in that all encompassing way, we have to also recognize that shadow was created by the divine as well as light, because we are a balance of light and shadow. We are not just one or the other. And let's look at this in a human consciousness, a, let's say, biblical sense. We can take it down to the Bible. So when we're looking at this in a human consciousness and God has created all things, we have to understand that light and shadow are part of that creation. And when we look at it in that way, we can define it as Jesus, the Son of God in the Bible, was that light. And Lucifer in the Bible was that shadow. But both were created by the divine. Both aspects were created by the divine. And that would be the human consciousness understanding of the light and shadow. Now let's step into a spiritual consciousness, a higher understanding of light and shadow. Light and shadow still exist today. There is not all shadow and there is not all light, but there is shadow and light that exist in our experience, in our consciousness, and as it should be. When we integrate our shadow, we are not getting rid of it. We are not diminishing it. We are not dissolving it so that we are nothing but light, because that would be unbalanced. That would be, there would be no balance in that at all. Integrating our shadow means to accept the shadow aspects of ourself and learn how to walk in that balance of light and shadow, not taking shadow to the extremes, nor taking light to the extremes. Either extreme would not be healthy in any way, shape, or form. But having the balance of both the light and the shadow aspects, accepting that balance, accepting that that is a part of our divinity, because all things are created through the divine, which is balance of feminine and masculine energy, the balance of light and shadow. And therefore, we are created in the image of the divine, which is light and shadow, masculine and feminine energies. So integrating our shadow aspect, again, is accepting it, being okay with it, and realizing there are moments that call for our shadow aspect. It's just that simple. There are moments when we are going to have to stand in our shadow power and exhibit that sort of energy. And then there are times, there are moments, situations, experiences that call for our light aspect, where we stand in that love and we stand in that compassion and in that understanding. Both aspects are a part of our experience, both aspects are a part of our being, human and spiritual consciousness. It's just when we're in our human consciousness, we tend to look at it as taboo or wrong or something we have to get rid of. But in this awakening that humanity is going through, we are being asked to raise our consciousness, to ascend into higher levels of consciousness and understanding. And in doing so, we come to the realization that the light and the shadow are both beneficial and they are what makes the whole. It's what balances our beingness. So I hope this information has helped you understand that your shadow aspect is not something that you need to feel bad about or that you should feel shameful about or that you should let anyone judge you or ridicule you or even judge yourself with, because it is a part of your spiritualness. It's a part of your spiritual consciousness to have the shadow and the light. And it's okay to accept that part of you. And it's okay to walk in both sides of that energy whenever the situation calls for it, whatever situation may call for either energy. So I am sending you all lots of love and lots of activation energy.